Hello and welcome to Taffy Crafting. My name's Donna and I've got a lovely, bright, colourful project for you today. It's a card and it's using the Picture Perfect Party Suite, which you will be able to find on page 4 and 5 of the Spring Summer catalogue. It is so vibrant, the colours in here, one of my favourite suites within the Spring Summer catalogue. And let me show you what comes in with that suite, some of the things that I've got here. So first of all, we have beautiful DSP in 6x6, which has these kind of photographed images on the front of these. But on the back, also got these really colourful prints on the back of those. So, and they coordinate. Look how beautifully the back of that one coordinates with the balloons on there. So you can do whatever you want with these and mix and match them. The other thing that comes with them is the coordinating cardstock, and we've got that here in 3 different colours. Let me just show you this when I put this one particular piece of DSP there and how that coordinates with that. You haven't got to try and find any card that matches, or it'd be a near match. They match perfectly. So we've got Peekaboo Peach, Lemon Lime Twist and Bermuda Bay. So they go with those as well, and you can find all of those in the Spring Summer catalogue. But I'll also leave a link, excuse me, I'll also leave a link to my blog, and it will show you there all the individual links to the products on my Stampin' Up website. So I'm going to make a really colourful card. We're in January, the weather's a bit grim, and I think we need something just to cheer us up a bit. So I've got a few things going on here. I can be a bit of a lazy crafter sometimes, and I buy my cards pre-folded with the envelopes. How shocking is that? But it does save me a heck of a lot of time. So I'm just going to put that to one side. So this is a 6x6 card I'm making here, but you don't have to make it in that size. You can make it in any size you like. And I'm using this design from the Picture Perfect DSP, a piece of Lemon Lime Twist cardstock. So this is 5 3/4 inches square. That is 5.5 inches square. So that's just going to sit on top of it like that. I've also cut out some of these stitched shaped framelets from the Stitch Framelit dies. There is a link to a video in the description bar showing how you can use the Big Shot die cutting machine in order to create these shapes. This has got to be my favourite. This is out all of the time, this die set, and it's the Stitch Frameless dies. I'll just very quickly show you. You have all of those shapes. We have lots of different size squares, ovals and circles as well. Really versatile. You can use them on anything. You can use them as labels. You could use them just as layered parts of your card, which is what we're going to do here. And I'm going to be using some of these dimensionals in order to lift that second layer of card there, to give the card some dimension. So I'll put the square to one side because I'm not going to use those. I just wanted to show you how you could use those different shapes. And we're also going to be using some ribbon. Now, I placed an order with Stampin' Up through the Spring Summer catalogue, and also some bits and pieces from the annual catalogue. And because I spent more than £45, I got some free ribbon. And so I've got and I chose this because it goes with this. So I've got the Calypso Coral, which goes really nicely with those colours. Bermuda Bay ribbon, slightly thinner ribbon. And then we've got this slate grey ribbon here, which goes with anything really, but I thought goes with that. So that comes in a bundle, and it's a level 1 reward that if you spend more than £45, you can choose this from the Celebration catalogue. If you want any more details of that, please come along to my blog, and there are contact details on there, and you can get in touch with me very easily, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. So let's get on with making this card. I'm also going to be doing a bit of heat embossing as well to show you that. I love heat embossing, so I'm going to show you that as well. So let's get on with this. The first thing I want to do is get some adhesive on the back of this to put there to create some layering. So I'm just going to use this adhesive. This is snail adhesive. And I'm just going to run, very easy to use, very quick. You can use wet glue if you wanted to. Stampin' Up have a range of adhesives. I think it makes a great noise as well. So I've got that there. Decide which way up you want it. Obviously they're balloons, they're not in any particular way up, but you know, you can put it however you want. And very carefully centre that on there. So we have a nice frame going around our picture. And then eventually that's going to sit on top of our card like that, and I'll do that shortly. So what I wanted to do was put some ribbon here, just to give the card some interest. I think the balloons are enough, to be honest, but let's give it a little bit more interest. And I just want to put a little bit more fun on there. And I'm just going to position those ribbons on there. You would have noticed that my ribbons have been cut there at an angle at the end. That stops the ribbon from fraying if you cut it at an angle. And also this Calypso coral ribbon, that's got a little V shape at the end, and again that stops it from fraying. There we are, that will do. The more I fiddle with that, the more they move. And then you can trim those ribbons if you need to. What I want to do is get some adhesive on there and just put that centrally on there. I'm just going to keep fiddling with that. I'm never going to be happy with it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to get some adhesive on there. Get a bit of fluff off. And then I'm just going to position that on there like that, and just push that down. So I'm left with that last little bit, and I tried all sorts of colours of stamping on there, and nothing really did this Bermuda Bay any justice whatsoever. So it was like, it's going to have to be heat embossed. So to do that I need some embossing powder. So I've got this one in gold, which I thought just picked out the colour out of here, but possibly could use silver as well. And now I'm looking at these, I've totally now changed my mind and I want to use silver. So I'm going to have a rummage through a box here. I love changing my mind at the last minute. There we go. I've got the silver embossing powder there as well. I bet I changed my mind again. But I think I want to use the silver just to pick out the silver in there. I hadn't noticed that before. Right, before I do any heat embossing, I'm going to get out what I need. So my embossing powder, let's put the gold away, definitely going with silver. I've got my Versamark watermark stamp pad, my embossing buddy, and I also have my stamp on my block. And the stamp has come from the Picture Perfect birthday stamp set, which is part of the Picture Perfect suite. So the first thing I must do is just wipe over the card with the embossing buddy. It takes off static and grease and anything that the embossing powder might stick to and not come off. I've tried stamping or heat embossing without this. It does not work. It's a mess if you don't. So this very simple piece of kit just stops your heat embossing looking a bit messy and your powder sticking to everything. So the first thing we do once we've got the embossing buddy on there is I'm going to take my stamp and I'm just going to load that up there. Just take off any excess around there, and I'm going to position that. And because we're using these are photopolymer stamps, so they fit on like that, so when you turn it round you can see where it is. That's why I like photopolymer stamps. I've got all the light shining on this block, so I'll try and get this central. I can't see, the light shining straight on it, it's causing a reflection, but we'll give that a go. Right, I'm going to press that down and then remove it. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see that on there. Yes, you can just about see that. You can see where the Versamark has just left, and it's just like a sticky residue on there for the embossing powder to stick on. So put that away. Now at this point you need a piece of scrap paper. Which I shall get out there. And I know my front door, someone's going to knock on it at the moment in a minute. Bad timing. Right, really sorry about that interruption there. All you can hear is my husband's voice just bellowing in the background there. Right, so what you would have seen me do is put the Versamark on there, put some powder on it, the embossing powder, and don't touch that because the minute you touch it, it will come off. Now before I do that, we must move this powder from here. That's the gold. That was close. So I've been completely thrown now because somebody knocked at the door. Okay. Let's get rid of that. This embossing powder goes a long way. It lasts for ages. Okay, so we've got that. The last thing I need to do with that is I want to get my heat tool on it. I'm just going to hold that down because I don't want to put my finger on there because this gets incredibly hot and this will get noisy. Now just watch what happens here when I heat up. Hope you can see this. You can see how that changes. The card will buckle a little bit, but because we're going to stick it down, it's not going to matter. And there we have it. That just sets that then. That's not going anywhere. So let's get back to my card, which I've put down. There we are. So I've got that, and I want to just put that on top there. And I'm going to do that by using some of these mini dimensionals. You can get dimensionals in a slightly bigger size as well. So I'm just going to put those on there. I want to stick to my hand and not the card. That knock at the door has completely thrown me now. All fingers and thumbs. So I just want to put a few on there. See, if you're using the bigger dimensionals, you don't need as many, but using these mini ones. I do prefer the mini ones, especially if you're using very small shapes. They work a lot better. So let's get that back there. And I'm just going to take the backing off of these. There we go. And I'm just going to put that on top there. And then I'm going to get my card. And all I'm going to do then is just run some adhesive. This might be better off doing this with some double-sided sticky tape. Entirely up to you. I just use this for speed. But if I was making a batch of cards, I would probably use double-sided tape. So have it the right way. Make sure that opens the right way. And very carefully just make sure you've got that central. Just stick that down. And then we have a really pretty birthday card using the Picture Perfect DSP. the coordinating cardstock, some coordinating ribbon and a little bit of heat embossing. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Apologies for the interruption in the middle of that. Please don't hesitate to hop onto my blog and have a look at some instructions on there where I've got all the measurements of the cards and all the links to the products on here. And if you want to see any further videos, then please subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.